nobody can do that for you. Nobody can unveil that truth about you except you. And to be in a relationship and try to pull that of which you need to do for yourself out of someone else is complete and utter selfishness. I think that the beauty in which I am looking forward to in terms of connecting with another is, one, communicating the fact of, listen, I've journeyed and I have experiences and I have gained lessons from these experiences. And there may be moments when the universe, God, higher source, tests me on the things in which I have gone through, just to see if the lessons have really stuck, have really, settled in to the point where now I can think and move differently. And to be able to communicate that and to have that common bond, because we are not journeying throughout this life alone. We are all on some way, shape, or form healing, growing, learning, evolving in different areas. So I think when Allah blesses me to enter a union, a relationship, a connection with someone, these are the kind of conversations that must be had. Conversationalists, period. Good conversation. Because it alleviates the unknown. I couldn't see myself, still can't see myself not being in relations with someone who isn't curious about my well-being. And not only my well-being, but their well-being, who isn't curious and mindful of when to pause and redirect energy so that they themselves are operating from a place of love, peace, compassion, and understanding. It's important because, I feel like the world itself at large has woken up, to the beauty of the sacredness of energy and frequency and the true power that lies within us as human beings, because God is within us. We are the co-creators. And you gotta be in tune with that. You got to be. Because if you're not, you're doing so much damage to yourself. You've got to love yourself. You've got to love yourself, and you've got to want to actively try. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. But the willingness to try for yourself, for God, to be of service. To have those things clear, I feel like everything after that as a result is nothing but blessings, you know? So, align yourself. Continue to align yourself with your true north. What speaks to you. Your intuition will not lead you astray. We have free will. That is the challenge. Are you going to listen to your higher self? Are you going to listen to your angels? Are you going to know that you are constantly being divinely guided? Listen. And if you choose to not listen, well, then you are going to be, and this isn't to instill fear, because fear doesn't exist. Fear is an illusion. But there are consequences to the actions that you decide to take. You are being guided to make the right decisions, and you know it. It's yourself. Trust yourself. And really think things through. It was interesting. I was faced with a decision the other night to, I'll just say, go left or right. Okay, and it was almost comical, but I understood why I was faced with that test, because I was faced with that test before and I chose not to listen to my higher self. And as a result, there were consequences, less favorable consequences, you know. But the test was brought to me again, and I decided to choose myself, to be mindful enough to know that the lessons I have learned that have led me to this moment today, I could not travel down that road again. All for what? For temporary pleasure? No. No. Temporary pleasure will always be less than eternal peace for self. I will choose peace over pleasure every time. Every time. And I have to express my gratitude, because once upon a time, like I said, I was faced with tests and I chose temporary pleasure. Love. Real love, unconditional love. I feel as though I have unconditional love from 3 people. And I'm grateful for that. I don't need an army. Okay. So when people tell me that they love me, I receive it. I receive the endearment, but I know real love. And that kind of emotion and knowing it takes some time to really invest and know and trust. I have unconditional love for and from my son. I have unconditional love for and from my mother, as well as my stepfather. Those 3 people love me unconditionally. I had an old friend tell me that they loved me the other day. And instinctively, in my mind, I was just like, yeah, no, you really don't. But it's okay it's flattering to say that you do. I know you really don't. It's like, don't tell me you love me if you don't mean it. Good talk.